U.S. Navy. United States of America (U.S.) is indeed the only Navy in the world that has intensely tried various dimensions of battle from the start. Various battles in which the United States is involved must be U.S. Navy with USMC, which is always sent first to attack the opponents. Only then did the USAF and U.S. Army take part in precision attacks on opponents. In the latest developments in the Sea China South these past few days, China accused United States of America has ulterior motives in sending 2 attacking aircraft carriers to the Sea China, the disputed South. According to Chinese state media, Beijing said it was ready to face the challenges posed by Washington. Wang Yunfei, a retired naval officer of the People's Liberation Army (PLA), said China was ready to fight the threat posed by the U.S. China has several times experienced the threat posed by the U.S. at sea with the deployment of several aircraft carriers. China's determination to maintain territorial integrity, sovereignty and maritime interests will not be shaken after the latest threat posed by the U.S. The Chinese military is ready and will deal with threats easily. Military analysts are saying that Beijing has full control over the situation. China has a wide choice of anti-aircraft carriers such as DF-21D missiles and DF-26 aircraft carrier killers, the newspaper said, citing analysts. The South China Sea is completely within the reach of the PLA. Any U.S. aircraft carrier movement in the region is PLA's pleasure. Wang said China had conducted exercises with ballistic missiles, air-to-ship missiles and anti-ship missiles for the past year in the central region of the South China Sea to prepare for attacks on aircraft carriers from foreign countries. Wang added that the latest U.S. military training in the area would provide a real-life target for the PLA Navy to test its capabilities. He added that China could do another round of exercises at sea in August. The U.S. has sent 2 aircraft carriers, USS Ronald Reagan and USS Nimitz, to disputed waters for military training starting on Saturday. This was in conjunction with similar exercises conducted by China in the region. This exercise is one of the largest exercises of the U.S. Navy in recent years. On the other hand, it is very rare that major U.S. and Chinese military exercises are carried out at the same time. They, China, have seen us, US, and we have seen them. We have hope that we will always have professional and safe interactions. We operate in very dense waters, lots of sea traffic of all kinds. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian on Monday said the situation in the South China Sea was stable. But he claims that the US aims to cause problems between Beijing and Southeast Asian countries. The U.S. deliberately sent military deployments for large-scale training in the South China Sea, and to show off its muscles, Zhao said. They have ulterior motives. The United States created divisions among the countries in the region and militarized the South China Sea. The U.S. move comes a few days after China began its military exercises, which lasted from Wednesday to Sunday, near the disputed Paracel Islands. USS Nimitz has been training in the waterway with another 7th Fleet aircraft carrier, USS Ronald Reagan, since last Saturday, 4/7, to coincide with U.S. Independence Day on July 4. U.S. Navy has also brought aircraft carriers to show strength in the South China Sea in the past. But, this year's training took place amid increasing tension with China. U.S. analyst Carl Schuster, former director of operations at the U.S. Pacific Command Combined Intelligence Center, said the U.S. 2 aircraft carrier exercise demonstrates a strength that, at least for now, is owned only by the U.S. Navy. China only has 1 aircraft carrier that is fully operational, with a second approaching that status. But both do not have the size and ability to transport as many aircraft as 2 U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. And the 2 aircraft carriers have just finished operating with the 3rd, USS Theodore Roosevelt, near the Philippine Sea. The different scale of combat power shown between the People's Liberation Army Navy training and the United States Navy will be seen. It sends both military and geopolitical signals to China and the region, Schuster said. U.S. Navy training shows who has greater potential strength. Schuster noted that operating 2 aircraft carriers in the South China Sea could be a more complex operation by having 3 ships in the Philippine Sea. The Philippine Sea is an open ocean, while the South China Sea is filled with competing claims of air and sea space. Adding to the complexity, the U.S. is adding to its firepower in current training with B-52 bombers flying in warplanes from aircraft carriers. The bomber flew 28 hours non-stop from his headquarters in Louisiana to participate in training, demonstrating the ability of the U.S. Air Force to move assets quickly to world hotspots. This kind of attack shows our ability to reach from home stations, fly anywhere in the world and carry out the mission, quickly regenerate from advanced operations bases and continue operations, said Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Dove, commander of the 96th Bomb Squadron, said in a statement.